Have you ever heard a story so strange, so unbelievable, that it just has to be true? The world is packed with them, hiding in dusty history books and forgotten newspaper articles. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on three of the most bizarre and fascinating true stories you've likely never heard. So, grab a drink, get comfortable, and prepare to have your mind blown. Our first story takes us back to 19th century Scotland, to the bustling city of Edinburgh. This is the tale of a tiny dog, a Skye Terrier named Bobby, whose loyalty would make him a legend. Bobby belonged to a night watchman named John Gray. The two were inseparable, patrolling the cobblestone streets together, a familiar sight to everyone in the city. But in 1858, John Gray passed away from tuberculosis. He was buried in Greyfriars Kirkyard, a historic cemetery in the heart of Edinburgh, and that, you might think, is where their story ends. But it's where Bobby's legend truly begins. The day after the funeral, Bobby was found sitting on his master's grave. He was shooed away, but the next day, he was back, and the day after that, and the day after that, for 14 years, through howling winds, driving rain, and thick snow. Bobby guarded John Gray's grave. He only left for a midday meal at a nearby coffee house, where the owner, recognizing his incredible devotion, made sure he was fed. Bobby became a local celebrity. The city council, moved by his loyalty, even made a special exception to the law and granted him a collar with a license, paid for by the Lord Provost himself, declaring him an official resident of Edinburgh. When Bobby finally passed away in 1872, he was buried just inside the gates of Greyfriars Kirkyard. Not far from the master, he never forgot. A statue was erected in his honor, and to this day, tourists from all over the world come to rub the nose of Greyfriars Bobby, a timeless symbol of unwavering friendship. A dog's love, it turns out, really can last a lifetime, and then some. Now, let's fast forward about a century and travel across the Atlantic to the United States for a story that sounds like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood script. This is the incredible survival saga of Julianne Koepcke. In 1971, 17-year-old Julianne was flying with her mother over the Peruvian Amazon. They were on their way to a Christmas reunion with her father. Suddenly, the plane was struck by lightning during a massive thunderstorm. The aircraft disintegrated in mid-air. Julianne, still strapped to her seat, was thrown from the plane and fell nearly 2 miles, that's 10,000 feet, into the dense canopy of the rainforest below. Miraculously, the thick foliage cushioned her fall, and she survived. When she awoke the next day, she was alone, surrounded by the overwhelming sounds and dangers of the jungle. She had a broken collarbone, a deep gash on her leg, and a severe concussion, but she was alive. Most people would have given up, but Julianne wasn't most people. Her parents were famous zoologists, and she had grown up in the jungle, learning survival skills from them. Her father had once taught her a crucial lesson. If you're lost, follow a stream, because it will eventually lead you to a larger river, and rivers are where people live. So, that's what she did. For 10 agonizing days, she waded and walked, battling swarms of insects, avoiding snakes and crocodiles, and dealing with painful, infected wounds. She found a small bag of candy from the plane wreckage, which was her only food. On the 10th day, weak and on the verge of collapsing, she stumbled upon a small, empty hut and a canoe. Thinking it was abandoned, she huddled inside. Hours later, a group of local loggers returned. At first, they were terrified of this strange, ghost-like girl covered in mud and blood. But they soon realized she was a survivor. They treated her wounds using local remedies and took her on a 7-hour canoe trip to the nearest village. Julianne was the sole survivor of the 92 people on board her flight. Her story isn't just about luck, it's a powerful testament to the human will to survive and the life-saving power of knowledge. For our final story, we journey to the high seas for a maritime mystery that has baffled historians for over a century. It's the tale of the Mary Celeste, the most famous ghost ship in history. In November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York, bound for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, and a crew of 7. The ship was loaded with a cargo of industrial alcohol. About a month later, another ship, the Dei Gratia, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic about 400 miles off the coast of Portugal. Her sails were partially set but tattered, and she was moving erratically. When the captain of the Dei Gratia hailed the ship, there was no response. A boarding party was sent over to investigate. What they found was deeply unsettling. The ship was in perfectly seaworthy condition. The crew's personal belongings, including their money and valuables, were untouched. The cargo was secure. A 6-month supply of food and water was still on board. A child's toys were scattered in the captain's cabin, but there was not a single soul on the ship. Everyone, Captain Briggs, his family, and the entire crew, had vanished without a trace. The only things missing were the ship's single lifeboat, the chronometer, and the sextant, suggesting a deliberate and orderly evacuation. But why? There was no sign of a struggle, no evidence of a pirate attack, and the ship itself was not in any immediate danger of sinking. The last entry in the ship's log was dated 10 days prior and noted nothing unusual. So, what happened? Theories have ranged from a sea monster attack and alien abduction to mutiny and insurance fraud. The most plausible theory today involves the cargo. The barrels of industrial alcohol may have begun to leak, creating a buildup of flammable fumes. Captain Briggs, fearing an imminent explosion that never actually happened, might have ordered everyone into the lifeboat to wait at a safe distance. The tow rope could have snapped, leaving them stranded in the vast ocean while their perfectly good ship sailed away from them, becoming an eternal mystery. We will likely never know the true fate of the 10 souls who were aboard the Mary Celeste, but their story continues to haunt the imagination. From a dog whose love transcended death to a teenager who fell from the sky and walked out of the jungle to a ship that sailed the seas with no one at the helm. The world is full of stories that prove that truth is often far stranger and more inspiring than fiction. These events remind us of the incredible depths of loyalty, the sheer power of human resilience, and the enduring mysteries that still surround us. Which of these stories did you find the most incredible? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained and unbelievable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories from our weird and wonderful world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.